We have exciting news of something that has been in something that we've been developing together for months now, that we've actually been Alicia and I have been working together on a brand new set of incredible coverall and absolutely incredibly premium, beautiful to use Photoshop brushes. I, from the past, will take you through that process, but I just wanted to open up at the end and then come back here to share a little bit of details of the outcome, but they're coming out soon. Like, it took ages to work on, but now that they're done, it's just like, it's sort of happened all at once. So enjoy the journey. Here's what's happening. I made a set of custom brushes over 6 years ago that a lot of people have loved and that have done really well, but it's an older format, and we've been asked for years to update them so they can be imported into different art programs, but I don't like just doing the boring old thing. I like to go above and beyond, and Alicia and I have been working on and planning the above and beyond. And one of the reasons we can go above and beyond is because Alicia's helping. Alicia is a phenomenal digital painter and artist in general. So with our powers combined, we're going to be able to create a pack that caters to illustration and painting digitally with special effects and a whole bunch of really cool stuff. There's a lot of digital brush products out there, and we have attempted to gather all of them in our research to understand not only how to take the best bits of all the different ways people produce brushes, but also see what we like the most. And this has been a fun part of the process. I have asked Alicia to have no holding back in criticizing my old brushes when comparing them to this whole set. And the shading pencils on my old set, I'm not happy with, I wasn't happy with, and you agree. So I would love a really good shading set. So you've noticed with some brushes, and this is one Ross Draws did.
Yeah, so a lot of the oil brushes have a little bit of color dynamics in the brush, and it just like gives it so much more like texture and grit, and it's as if like you've got a little bit of the wrong paint on your brush and it just sort of blends in. Like, that's
so cool. And your painting style can be quite naturalistic, which is an awesome look.
Yeah.
So I think a way to make the traditional sort of textures and brushes that we're creating feel like they have that life in them would be awesome. Feels like a really solid starting point to me, and this is going to be a long-term project, so let's get started. So how do digital brush tips work, Alicia?
So basically you get like a stamp or like an image, and then when you use the brush it like stamps it multiple times, and that's how you get the line of the brush.
So this is an example of the brush tip that turns into this brush with the different settings, and in going through all these different brushes we have the visual reference of what the brush tip looks like every time, and as a result it gives us more and more learning as to how the properties of the brush tip as well as the settings of the brush affect the outcome. Now we could get brush tips by drawing them or finding textures online, and we will, but in addition to that, one of the best organic ways to get some of these textures is with sponges and with paint and with a whole bunch of different stuff. So Alicia, we're getting you set up to be able to do a bit of a photo shoot to create original brush tips that we can muck around with. We might use some of them, we might use none of them, and we might lean on them entirely, but we don't know until we give it a deep dive.
So I did a few more pencil brushes. So we've still got the construction and the shading and like the standard one, but I've also added a 2H and a 2B one.
Yep.
So you get one that's a bit sharper and harder and one that's a bit darker and blacker.
Cool. And are they the default colours? So it's not black. Oh, it has a colour.
It is. Cool. It's like a very slightly blue, slightly graphite sort of colour.
It always feels mean when you kill other people's darlings. So I know you saved it for me to do.
No.
Doesn't mean I like doing it, but I'm going to do it.
Set it on fire. Oh, I like that one though.
Did you? Well, it doesn't feel like a marker. If I use a marker that looks like that, I'll be angry.
at the marker. Do you know what? If that was called oil pastel, I'd be like, oh, that's nice.
Okay.
Isn't that different? Like,
Let's
it
call it
actually,
that.
there's a weird psychological element to this. Because the brush might feel great, but if it's called something and it doesn't feel like that thing, you actually don't like it. A huge part of this, aside from making great brushes, is really clearly defining them so that people know exactly what they're going to get.
I made a branch brush that was sort of based on Dave Greco's brush. Kind of looks like, it's like the thin ones.
Because it's showing you what it's going to look like when you put it down. If you don't like that angle it's on or whatever.
It's got a pen tilt.
Oh, cool.
So you can sort of like go in like different directions.
I sort of want it anchored so the tip of the brush is to the bottom end of the branch. Because I can't see where I'm putting it down. Yeah, it's much clearer.
Yeah.
I can pretty much always see where the stem is now. That's much better.
I've done this one as well, which was the pine tree one that wasn't really, I added the fade to the bottom.
Can we add texture to that? I'm not going for tree texture, I'm going for paint texture. You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
So like almost like a graphite, but really subtle. Just to break it up so it doesn't look like clean gradients. Check this out. Just painting some trees. I'm gonna increase the brush size. Let's throw a few autumn trees in there. And let's come back to green.
That colour variation.
It's great. And then some bigger ones. Oh no,
so
maybe not that big. And we'll go some in the background. Actually, let's go a bit darker here. Now here's the trick. You ready? You add a new layer. Then, you ready? You grab your fog brush. And there's a forest on a foggy morning. And look how easy that was. Now the tree brush is just it's really a background brush. Like it's an environment enhancer.
Yeah.
But, you know, how easy is that? We'll call it forest just because it's with two R's. Forest with two R's.
F-O-R-E. Oh my god. F-O-R-E.
No, it's two.
Wow.
No, it's not. That's a place. Forest has one R. Wow.
It's okay. It's a Friday.
None of us knew. Yeah, because I think calling it forest implies that it's not for details. Yeah. See, it's all in the naming. Cool. So let's go through all the brushes, make a final nips and tucks, and start planning the cool resources we're going to make to show off how to use them.
Yeah.
We're still working, but they're just getting better and better. It's very, very cool. I'm really excited, especially because we're making the ultimate brushes for us, you know? Like, I can't wait to have like the finished set to be like, oh, they're perfect. So it's very exciting. And we've come a long way from my initial brush pack, especially now that we have a bit of teamwork behind it. It's really coming together. Oh, do we have a question today?
We do.
Let's do it.
And this is something both of you can answer.
Okay.
So, what motivates you to create things even if you get frustrated? And how do you maintain patience to make more complicated artworks?
Deadlines. That's mine.
Deadlines.
Just deadlines.
Nice. Oh, I would say finding references and other artists that inspire me.
Oh, I like that answer. Yeah. To the point.
Inspiration, deadlines. Yeah, like I thrive under pressure, so that's what motivates me. Like being inspired is good too, I guess. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. Wait, this is a post question of the day scene because, like I said at the beginning of the vlog, we're finished. So we actually have a number now, and that number is 83. And the great thing is, like, we've cut more than the amount that we kept by a long shot. So we've killed a lot of darlings. The 83 that we ended up with are the best, and they're incredible. So we have like 7 amazing pencils and like 8 amazing charcoals and 8 or 9 amazing oil paints. Like, they're all meticulously crafted and they feel different and serve different purposes but work together really well. We're so proud of what we've produced. So we can't release them straight away because we're producing a brush guide to go with them so that anyone who gets 83 brushes knows what their purposes are. Some of them are quite niche, some of them have very special applications, some of them change a setting that need to be changed back because of the way the brushes work. So we want to just make sure anyone who gets these incredible brushes has every piece of information they could want to make the most of them. On top of that, we're also planning a course on digital painting that Alicia
Alicia and I will be working on together. The sort of things we'll be touching on in this course, going through from the beginning, intro stuff, then going through specific techniques, polishing and other fancy stuff, special effects, fire, smoke, metal, spattering and all that, all the way up to 5 huge pieces that you've seen some glimpses of that we're going to be releasing as source files. So you'll be able to look through the Photoshop files, including video footage, so you can see the painting process and all of our notations through the whole process on how to achieve really, really high standard pieces like Alicia produces with us. How do you feel?
Really excited to have it all done. I can't wait to do the course.
As we've produced the brushes, you've been using them in your own workflow. So
Yeah.
I feel like it must be pretty cool to be like, these are my brushes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone. This is the proper outro.